Hey, Joe here from SJ Fence Supply. In this video, I want to talk about one of the big things that you should be kind of observing while your installers are installing your fence. Number one thing is seeing if they're cutting the post or not. Okay, so for example, our 6-foot solid white vinyl panels, they go in the ground 3 feet. So the post is 9 feet long, panel is about 6 feet tall, or is 6 feet tall, so it should be in the ground about 3 feet. Okay, now if you start walking out, and you don't even have to walk outside, like look at your back window, and if you see a bunch of little pieces of post that are like 6 inches, a foot, things like that, that could be a potential problem, because what's happening is they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't dig down far enough, so then they're cutting the post to make everything work. But the stability is really in, you really need those 3 feet. You got to think about the fence panel is, basically one big kind of like parachute where you get this massive amount of wind load on there. You got 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds, and it's not going to stand straight and tall if it's only in the ground like a foot, because we've seen it where there's certain fence companies, we don't recommend them, that they cut a foot off, a foot and a half. I've seen 2 feet cut off a post before, so it's only a foot in the ground. And sad to say, a lot of times you kind of get what you pay for. So if you're trying to get someone cheaper, and what ends up happening is that because they're selling it for so cheap, right, they have to get in and out right away so they can kind of go on to the next job. And if it's taking longer because the ground's really tough, or those roots, or whatever it happens to be, they're going to end up cutting the post so that way they can get the job done quickly so they can move on to the next thing. That being said, there are times when you may not be able to install at the full depth. So if you have some posts that are next to a tree, especially these massive trees, if you end up starting to cut the root system close to the tree, what's going to happen is you're really going to mess with the stability of that tree. So if this is the tree here, you got roots right on this side that they're digging out, right? What's going to end up happening is when the wind, wind's pushing the tree, it doesn't have the stability to kind of hold it in place. So then it has more of a chance of flopping over. And if your house is over there, that's not a good thing to happen, right? So anyway, something to look at. If you're in the market for a new fence, we are located in South Jersey. We do deliver about 1.5 miles from us. So that basically is all of South Jersey, all of Central Jersey. We go into Pennsylvania, we go into Delaware. So if you're needing a fence, you can use our GPS tool. It's on sjfencesupply.com. The really cool part of this tool is that you draw out your fence, and then what's going to happen is it's going to tell you what materials you need. It's going to tell you what the materials cost. And then it's also going to give you 3 to 5 contractors that are in your area that are going to be able to install your fence for a reasonable price. Typically what you'll see is you're going to spend a lot less money doing it this way because, compared to a typical fence company, because what normally happens is the materials get marked up and then the labor gets marked up as well. Whereas, you're getting the materials for, exactly what they cost. And then for the installers that we recommend, they are actual companies, but they're small companies. It's typically the owner on site. They don't have like the huge support staff, so that's not like they have all the receptionists and everything else, which is not a problem. But the nice part is because their overhead's lower, then their labor is typically lower as well. So you save a decent amount of money. The other thing that we offer is 0% financing for 12 months on the materials. So basically, once the materials are, delivered, you get, hit with the, for the financing, and then you basically just have to pay that off by the end of the 12 months. You want to make sure that gets paid off by the end of the 12 months because the interest rate is like 29%, so you don't want to pay that. But if you need a fence now, but you need some time to pay it off, well, this is a great way to do it. So you can do that. That is on our website as well. And also when you use the GPS tool, it'll be in the report that prints out. It'll have a link on there. You basically, it's simple. So check that out. If you have any questions, let us know, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.